Air pollution. When I was little, I drove past a factory that had plumes of smoke coming from it. I once thought that it was a cloud factory. But now that I've grown older, I've come to realize that that smoke was a lot more insidious than I once thought it was. According to the National Institute of Environmental Health Sciences, there are approximately 6.5 million deaths per year connected to air pollution. And as you can see from this graph, there are a lot of things that qualify as air pollution that ultimately lead to death. To help air pollution, we need to be able to look at what choices need to be made to make that change. Before we do that, we also need to be able to understand what effect air pollution does have on people and the world around us. Most people believe that air pollution is only connected to health, but there's so much more that it leads to. Air pollution affects health. According to the National Institute of Environmental Health Sciences, air pollution leads to cancer, with things such as prostate cancer, colorectal cancer, non-Hodgkin's lymphoma, and lung cancer. It also affects your cardiovascular system, such as decreasing the flow of blood in your blood vessels, calcifying your blood vessels and your arteries, and it leads to an increase in hypertension for pregnant women and women having hemorrhagic strokes. We can also look at different lung disorders, such as an increase in COPD, emphysema, as well as an increase in children developing asthma and people developing chronic bronchitis. There's also an increase in pollution from wildfires, increasing the severity of people developing COVID-19. When we look at air pollution affecting the climate, I look to the World Resources Institute with Jessica Seddon, Seth Contreras, and Beth Elliott, who specializes in environmental conservation and air conservation. We're able to look at how it affects the air and the climate. Black carbon, tropospheric ozone, and methane cause 30 to 40% of climate change. With climate change and with air pollution, we also see melting of ice caps and the water levels rising in the ocean, as well as a decrease in drinkable water available. According to National Geographic, an increase in climate change connected to air pollution leads to an increased likelihood of ticks carrying things such as Lyme disease and mosquitoes carrying Zika, West Nile, and dengue. Air pollution also affects the food. Once again, looking at the World Resources Institute, we're able to see that air pollution has a negative effect on photosynthesis, pollination, and plant cells. We can also see the effect from a survey performed for the whole world in 2000, where there was about 79 to 121 million tons of food that was wasted, as well as in a survey done in 2010 in India that showed that there was enough food waste to feed 94 million people. Mexico too has seen a similar result with their food such as maize, corn, soy, and sorghum. So what's the solution? National Geographic suggests that we look to countries such as China and what they've done to decrease their air pollution. They once and are known for their air pollution, but they looked at their coal-burning factories and saw that they could pull back on how much they use them, and they've seen an increase in their air quality. We can also do things in conjunction with decreasing coal factories, such as trading out gas cars for electric and looking for other solar options, such as solar, water, and air or wind power. We can also look at the pollution inside our own homes, looking for items such that include a green seal certification, meaning that it won't cause air pollution within your own home. Why will this work? According to the National Institute of Environmental Health Sciences, there are many different types of air pollution, such as ozone, that is from the gases produced by factories and cars being shined on by the sun, as well as gases such as carbon monoxide, carbon dioxide, nitrous oxide, and sulfur oxide, all being created by cars and being a byproduct of factories. We can also see from National Geographic that they say that many different types of pollution also include pollen, mold, and particulates, such as those from wildfires. And by decreasing these, we're able to see an improvement. Things such as ozone can resolve in days, methane takes decades, and carbon dioxide can take over a century to get rid of from our air. So we need to take action now. Many people say that we can't cut down on coal burning factories because that will leave people jobless, but we have to weigh the risks and benefits. According to National Geographic, they say that roughly 134 million people are affected, getting diagnoses of diseases or lifelong diseases or life-threatening diseases from air pollution. So you have to look at the risks and benefits. Now that I've given you an idea of what air pollution is, I hope that you see why this problem really needs to be solved. We've seen how it affects health by causing different cancers and affecting your cardiovascular health, as well as affecting your lung health. We've seen how it affects climate change, how we run out of water and the ocean levels rise. And we've seen how plants are affected by decreasing how much availability we have to feed our people. I invite you to look at your own life and pick one day a week to decrease your air pollution footprint, either by walking when you could have ridden your car, or biking, or carpooling, or riding the bus, as well as maybe assessing how you prepare your food, such as instead of using a stove that runs on gas or coal or wood, you could use an electric instead. We're not children anymore. We don't believe that clouds come from factories, but it's up to us to help future generations and not be their downfall.